On this section of the webinar, I will be taking us through a roadmap to see how we can actually establish a, or through a lucrative career path by MEP as a profession. All right. The career paths in mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineering goes a long way in achieving this. You can actually achieve this or attain this through the 5 stages that we are seeing on our screen. And I will want to take the first one, which is all about having the technical knowledge. And if you go back to history, you can see that technology actually gave birth to engineering. There is no way you will be talking of engineering without referring to technology, science, and mathematics as it is. So we have a maintenance aspect, execution, drafting, and designing. Like I said, I will be looking at the technician aspect first. In any of these stages at all, you must be a learner, what refers to an apprentice generally. First of all, if I may ask, for all of us that are on this webinar section, I know that we have people that are of the mechanical orientation, we have people that are of the electrical orientation. As a matter of fact, in all of these stages, coming out of the higher institution or graduating as a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer, you actually open a way or a door for you in establishing a career in the MEP industry. Now, for the technician aspect, you start by what we refer to as engineering in training. Yes, apprentice is all about attaching yourself or bringing yourself in trying to acquire a knowledge so that you can attain mastery in a particular field of engineering. Learning we give back to some mastery or some ability that you can actually exhibit as a technician. Attaining this mastery in any of the fields as a technician, and over some years, gathering some experience, some level of experience, and having some exposure to handling of projects that are engineering related, you can actually rise in rank to become a senior technician. And along the way, you become a foreman. All these are attained by adding to your wealth of experience, which comes as a matter of interest in any particular field of engineering. In the civil service of today, either at the federal level or state level, the hierarchy is established there. And as we can see on the scale, on the ladder, for you to become a foreman, you must have, be practicing that field of engineering, which you have actually gained mastery over the years, gathering experience, seeing how to even inculcate managing your workforce, which will now give you that opportunity to become a foreman on that particular engineering field that you have chosen. On the same note, becoming a supervisor also has to do with using your mastery in any particular field of engineering to tutor and ensure that those that are your subordinates, in terms of the technicians or apprentices that are below you, you are able to guide them, put them right, inculcate in them some level of engineering mastery in that particular field, be it in electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, which still have some subdivision, which we are going to be looking at in a short while. And eventually, as the world is, the trend is going now, entrepreneurship, you can actually, stand on yourself, becoming a contractor, contracting in some engineering field, either in the electrical field of engineering or mechanical field of engineering. So we shall be looking at the maintenance aspects. As a maintenance engineer, the roadmap also starts as a training, as a trainee. If I could remember, for most of us on this call, while we are still an undergraduate, at some certain level of our course of studies in the higher institution, we engage ourselves in what we call CWES and IT. Some level of attaching the student to the professionals in the industry, so that they can gain mastery, have the opportunity of relating with what they have learned within the 4 block of 4 block of walls of the institution, relating it to the reality in the world by looking at how you put these things into practice. If you say 1 + 1 is equal to 2, in reality, how does 1 + 1 equals to 2? This is all that we have done during our CWES or IT program. And we have done this by attaching ourselves to the professionals in the industry, in most of the established companies that are out there. As a trainee, in terms of becoming a maintenance engineer, you also try to learn the choice of your choice of engineering field. You try to learn the technicality behind some operations and the design and the principle of operation of most of this engineering in practice. After gaining my mastery in this, you then can become a maintenance engineer. What is maintenance engineering all about? Maintenance engineering is all about the already established systems that have been designed. After the designing, we have actually built this system and put into operation. The operation of this and maintaining of this is all about maintenance engineering. With some 20 years of experience, being a maintenance engineer and doing some courses here and there to improve yourself technical wise, and you can become a senior maintenance engineer. Becoming a maintenance engineer is an opportunity that shows that you are also improving your knowledge in terms of your choice of engineering field. And over the years, we have professionals becoming a facility manager. Facility managers who assist in ensuring that the engineering system that have been put in place does not fail. They are full operation at all times. They put all this into place and try to manage the system and ensure that they have an efficient and effective system in place. Top of the ladder, while you have attained the peak of your career, towing the maintenance line, you can actually become a contractor in this aspect of the field of engineering and establish yourself as a big figure in the industry. Now, we shall be looking at the execution aspects. Execution, what most of us properly refers to being a contractor, who actually does what? They put in place the design that have been done by the professional engineer. The installation of the design and how the design are achieved practically. This is all what about execution is all about. That is why we have so many specialists there that are actually contractors or engineers going this line. How did this start? You still have to go by the ladder. starting as a trainee, along the line becoming a supervisor, and gaining mastery and establishing some level of project management in terms of coordination of activities on site, with coupled with the professionals or technicians that are on hand to assist in executing such design. You can become a site engineer. Site engineer, you try to balance between your labor force and the activities that are actually on ground to be implemented. With some level of gaining mastery in the chosen field in the engineering that we're talking about, we have people becoming a project engineer, whether an electrical project engineer, mechanical project engineer, and so on and so forth. Along the line, for some years of gathering some wedding of experience over the years, you can also actually rise to become a senior project engineer, either practicing as an electrical senior project engineer or mechanical senior project engineer. And we have seen some engineers that exhibit some extraordinary, performance, trying to balance the two. If you talk of mechanical engineering, they are there to give it a shot. Talk of electrical, they are also there to balance the field, because the MEP field as it is requires you to actually have knowledge in all ramification in order to be able to balance, your level of execution in terms of implementation of the design. And above the ladder, you can actually become a project coordinator. On that note, we'll be looking at the drafting aspect. If you look at drafting, what is drafting all about? Conceptualizing a particular design, doing some level of calculation in order to move ahead, putting this into a pictorial level, and putting it on in a presentable manner has to come with some level of drafting. And to do this, you also need to start as a trainee. There is no knowledge that is achieved in today's world that professional has not gone through training. That is why you see most of the ladder, you start as a trainee. Now, in terms of drafting, the trainee is there to undergo some training and to acquire knowledge from the professionals in this particular field, and eventually becomes a draftsman. The draftsman actually take instructions from the design engineer and see how to put into representation what the design engineer has actually conceptualized, and gathering some level of experience over the years and trying to improve educational wise. The draftsman can become a senior draftsman and eventually become a design engineer, as well as becoming a senior design engineer. He himself being able to sit down, putting innovation into place, gathering facts around his environment, and putting into place some level of engineering design. On this note, it is expected that in order for a design engineer to rise in his professional line of career path, he or she needs also to balance the field by gaining more level of education, which we have seen in some engineers as of today. They try to get knowledge in terms of project management. In the industry today, we refer to as gathering some project management experience and certification in terms of PMP for the American certification, and Prince 2 for the British certification level. And gathering some level of mastery and experience in this particular level of career, eventually such an engineer can become a consultant. that seems to give solution to any aspect of a choice of engineering chosen. On that note, I would be looking at the designing aspect. As a design engineer, you have to also try to rise through the rank, becoming a trainee, gaining some level of experience, and putting your effort. You will become a draftsman, rising along that ladder, becoming a senior draftsman, just like we have looked in the level on the category of drafting, and eventually becoming a design engineer, putting innovation into place and doing some level of brainstorming to bring some level of high-level design into place, and from your level, your endeavor to try to balance the managerial level to the professionalism aspect. You attain some level of certification in terms of project management, and eventually doing some management course like MBA. This assists the project manager to attain the level of consultant, doing some consultancy. With that, he or she will be able to balance management of the engineering practice and the personnel that are involved in such practices. On that note, we will be going to the next slide, which will be throwing light into some level of career path by specialization. We'll be looking at some specialization in terms of electrical, specialization in terms of mechanical and plumbing, engineering. Now, I will start with electrical. Our system is a system that is designed to show how energy, that's power, is being generated, transmitted, and distributed. Under this particular system, we can see some level of innovations as of today. If you go back to histories, we can see that power generation is basically around using the hydro system, use steam and the likes. But as of today, we have renewable energy system in place, taking advantage of the solar system in generating the power system, distributing, transmitting the power system, also distributing the energy that is being transmitted. On this particular system, we can have the engineering training, looking at specializing to become a power engineer. We have ample opportunity. There are so many, area of interest and job satisfaction in terms of power system. The second I will be looking at is communication system, which is popularly referred to as ICT in today's world, information, communication, and technology system. This is an aspect of how we can put transmission of data, management of data, into place. With this particular system, it is easier for us to communicate. In fact, this system has enabled us to establish the fact that the world is now a global village. People can be in far away Australia, and you can get data, information, and what have you transmitted in a twinkle of an eye through this particular engineering system, which is referred to as communication system. Lighting system, like our father in engineering has said earlier, God in his infinite mercy is actually the master engineer. After creating the world, he said, "Let there be light," and there was light, which is still in existence, and it will be forever. In today's world, during the day, we have the solar system, the sun, that is giving us natural lighting. In the night, we have the moon and the solar, the galaxy system, giving us opportunity of experiencing this lighting system. So we have specialists that are trying to take advantage of this, try to improve by establishing what we refer to as artificial lighting system in today's world. Lighting system is a very vital system of engineering that enable us to create some aesthetics and give some level of illumination to what activities an engineer is actually undergoing at a particular point in time.
Engineer Lukmon, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
So we are very constrained on time. So I'm thinking if you could wrap up in 5 minutes, if we can move faster, because we still have Engineer Adewale to go, and we want to give enough time for attendees to ask whatever questions they have.
All right. I think
I'm okay, but you move faster. All right. Thank you.
It's okay.
Okay, good.
Yes. The other aspect is control system. Control system and instrumentation actually goes pari passu. Control and instrumentation system is another field that is very vital that our engineering training can actually explore to become a specialist in that field. Automation and panel building is another field of engineering that enable us to automate the engineering system that are put in place as today's world. We have the costing system, or what we call cost engineering in today's world. The cost engineering system enable us to be able to plan our financials ahead of a particular project. It enables us to project the financial viability of that particular system. Last on the list on the electrical specialization is what we refer to as extra low voltage system. On this note, we have so many systems that has to do with some level of security, surveillance, access control, what we refer to as CCTV in today's world, building management system, home automation, and the likes under this particular section. I will be going to the mechanical system now. We have on the list, first on the list as the HVAC, what we refer to as heating and venting and air conditioning system. This is a system that enables us to put comfortability into any space by ensuring that the air conditioning system is well conditioned to give a comfortable environment. The next is plumbing system. This is also referred to as public health. This is a system that enables us to manage our water supply system and water drainage in terms of wastewater. Some drain, surface running water. This is a system that enables us to manage it effectively. The third is a sewage treatment system. The sewage system is simply a system that enables us to manage the wastewater and see how to recycle this and put them into usefulness by the recycling process. The fourth is borehole and water treatment system. Like we all know, most part of the world is made of water, and this system enables us to get a portable water for our usage. In areas that the waters are not portable, or the waters we have some level of dirtiness in the water in terms of iron content, bad odor, and the likes. We use our water treatment plant system to put it into proper use. Then the fifth one is the swimming pool system. This is another area where people seem to get comfort in terms of putting the swimming pool system in place. The next is the firefighting system. Firefighting system is just a simple means of protecting life and property by putting some systems in place, such as a sprinkler system, hosiery, coming to the level of placing fire extinguishers in some strategic location in order to combat fire. The next is gas system. This is simply a system where we use gas. We exploit the system to introduce some comfort and make our engineering system easier for operation. The next is lift and elevator system. This is a vertical system of movement that enable engineers put in place how to transport people and utility in high-rise building or in moving from one level to another. The last on the mechanical aspect I will be talking about is still cost engineering. Like I said earlier, cost engineering is simply a simple process of managing our finance to ensure that the project at hand is viable enough to embark on. The next slide, please. Now, I'm going to talk about typical career journey for any design engineer, being an electrical engineer or mechanical engineer. You will start as an internship, by learning one or two things while we are attached to the professionals. And after graduation, we become a graduate trainee, trying to put some perfection into what we have actually acquired or learned through the professional engineer. And along the line, after gaining some mastery, we become, in the early career stage, we become a design engineer, and rising to become a senior design engineer. At the middle career level, you can actually become a project engineer, having some mastery in terms of managing the workforce and the activities to be carried out on a particular project at hand. And at the same time, we rise to become a project manager, doing some high level of managing projects in terms of finance, planning activities on site on a particular project, and ensuring that we have a seamless operation from design level to execution level, and eventually having a successful project. And at the higher level of our career, we can actually become a facility manager or become a contractor or a consultant, either mechanical wise or electrical wise, in all the field that we have highlighted earlier. So to wrap it up, I'm employing our young engineers in today's world that you can actually exploit MEP as a profession, becoming a specialist in all these areas that we have highlighted earlier. This is a field that is very, very lucrative. All is, basically about planning yourself and try as much as possible to grab knowledge from the experts or the professionals in the field. I think that would be all from my end.
All right, thank you so much, Engineer Lukmon. Thank you. So very quickly, I see that we have a couple of questions. I can promise you that we are going to go through the questions one after the other in order of entry. So the first question will be the first thing we will attend to, and we go down that way. But because there's no time, so that we can finish up the presentation, I'm going to move to Engineer Adewale so that he can have his own session. Then we'll have an ample time. Whatever time we have left, we will do the Q&A. So you can go on, Engineer Adewale. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.